So today we have a very special Kirk Miller Podcast episode for a couple of big reasons. Firstly, this is my 100th episode of the Kirk Miller Podcast, which I'm immensely proud of, as when I kicked off the podcast, one of the things I made a vow to myself and to anyone listening was that I wanted to be ruthlessly consistent with putting out an episode every single Monday without a break, without fail, whether it was with myself or a guest, and I'd like to think I've followed through on that. But what I also want to say is a massive thank you to every single listener who has subscribed, continually listens. Really am grateful for the continued support with this channel, and the goal moving forward is to hit another 100. So if there's any subjects that I haven't covered yet, please don't hesitate to reach out to me and let me know. And then the second big reason, it should be the main reason really, that this episode is special, is I have my beautiful fiancée, Gaby Noble. This is her second appearance on the Kirk Miller Podcast. We had to have a mediator actually on the first one, didn't we? Our great friend Mark Coles asking the questions because we didn't trust ourselves with certain responses.
God knows how today's going to go.
Maybe we should have had someone to ask these questions today, but I just thought, with it being such a very special milestone to me, that there was only one person that I wanted.
Thanks,
and that was my beautiful queen, Gaby Noble. So what we wanted to do today, just to do something a little bit lighthearted, off the cuff, very random, was an Ask Gaby and Kirk Anything episode. And when we put this out to friends, followers, clients, etc., we just said, look, we want some questions around business, life, health, stupid shit, random. Basically, there was no boundaries within reason. So we have a lot of questions, and I'm not sure if we're going to get through them all today.
I'm a little hesitant because I don't even know these questions.
But to be honest, we wanted it that way. So look, we've got a lot of questions. We're going to try and chop through them as fast as we can, and we'll give ourselves a time cap of 30 to 60 seconds max per question.
You and I?
Well, me and Gabby don't struggle to talk, as you'll probably realise by the end of this episode. But look, we want to get through them as much as we can, and hopefully they'll not only add value, but they'll add a little bit of humour as well.
Should we start?
And we both promise to tell the truth.
Yeah.
All right? Me and Gabby are very honest, aren't we, with each other? And I'm sure this will unpack by this episode. But for those of you who don't know what Gabby does, apart from being, my better half, is... No, Gabby's the founder of Excel Pilates. She's a world leader in what she does. I know she's very humble, but I'll sort of champion for her. She's got 3 amazing studios. She's a global educator, and she really is an incredible business lady, and immense family values too. So, right, shall I kick off with the questions, and then I'll let Gabby talk. First question, we're starting pretty placid here. How did you meet? I'll let you answer that first.
We have 2 different stories on this one, but the main one is we met through a mutual friend, one of my very good friends, Steve Govia, who introduced Kirk to me as he was moving from Coventry down to London. Do you want to take over?
No, you finish.
Okay.
You finish.
So
I'll tell the truth.
Nothing but the truth, yeah. We were introduced. Kirk was moving down to London and wanted to find a place for him to personal train his clients. Having been in the industry and quite well connected within the London fitness scene, Steve thought it would be a great opportunity for us to meet. We met, we got on incredibly well, lots of talking, and he moved down to London and ironically became my personal trainer.
And? This is your moment, by the way. This is your moment to literally shine and share your side of the story, because obviously mine might tell the truth.
So Kirk and I, it wasn't obviously an instant thing, but we certainly got on very well and spoke. And it was not that long after that we blurred the lines of our relationship as PT and client. I'm not going to go into the full story. It lasted another 6 months. I didn't talk to him for a while. He didn't behave very appropriately. I then gave him an ultimatum.
Oh my God. This is
And then,
joke.
did I not?
Listen, this is your moment. So I'm trying to learn to listen, and so we'll unpack today.
Gave him an ultimatum. I did, Kirk. And we haven't been apart since. And that was, over 6 years ago now.
Wow. Okay. Right, now my side of the story.
Can I just add something?
What?
So we just had a bit of a blip because the fire alarm went in the apartment. And that's one thing Kirk can't cope with. If things go completely out of what his structure is, his organizer. Well, it is.
That's a total lie.
You didn't hear the swearing. We're going to be cutting that out. Just saying. Do you want to carry on? Oh my goodness.
Gabby's bossy, by the way. So from my side, how we met, it's very similar. It is very, very true that I started personal training Gabby. She was exceptional in the gym. Obviously, being a Pilates, guru, she moved very well, technique, worked hard, just wasn't very coachable outside the gym. I ran into continual friction when she just didn't seem to listen when it came to the diet advice or diet guidance. And I realised that Gabby maybe had a thing for me when she would obviously want quite a regular sit down on there discussing, new strategies with food and diet. And I thought, God, this is quite regular, but just doesn't seem to be listening much. But maybe that was when
I like to have more fun than Kirk, just a bit consistently.
Gabby would. I think it was just an excuse to see me at the time, But anyway, we realised
30 seconds per question.
No, listen, we realised, I think very quickly that we got on well, we joked well, we did laugh hard in between rest periods in the personal training sessions, which I didn't really like. But and then, as Gabby said, we crossed the line, not as black and white as Gabby giving me an ultimatum. But look, we realised that our personal relationship was much more had more longevity than our professional relationship, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. Second question. What is it like being with someone so disciplined with eating and exercise? Is it annoying, or does it pose any challenges?
Firstly, I think the discipline that you have is incredibly inspiring. I'm not going to lie, it's quite challenging to live with on a day-to-day. Like I mentioned in the previous question, I like to go out, enjoy myself much more than Kirk does, a bit more consistently. Kirk has these extreme going out, so won't go out, won't drink for a long, long time. But I just like to be a little bit more consistent with going out. So it's hard sometimes from a social aspect, not just whether it's drinking or going out, but the discipline he has of, going to bed early, waking up extremely early. It's incredible. And actually, it's things that I have brought in. My dad is very grateful for Kirk in my life, that he's kept me on the straight and narrow for the time that he's been around. But I would like to say that it's really inspirational. I don't know many people that have the consistent discipline that Kirk has, if any. And I think that's a credit to him and why he is such a success at what he does with, his clients, his team.
Thank you. I'll let you read the...
Okay. What are the 3 things you take from Gabby's fitness world that are incorporated into yours and vice versa?
Great question. Since learning about Pilates, and I think friends, clients have noticed it whenever I've trained them or trained with them, I would say my understanding of the body is immensely improved. My cueing when I'm personal training.
Yeah.
Technique, even though Pilates is a totally different discipline, it teaches you to understand some of the granular things that's going inside your body, and especially your biomechanics, that you would never know if you were just focusing on surface level cues with training. Simply put, I have a lot more holistic, well-rounded physical training approach with the way I structure not only my own training plans, but also recommendations for clients. I mean, it's 100% maybe a better coach, and maybe look at the human body way more than just how much you can lift and how well you look. The list is endless. I've done lots of posts on this. I think Pilates is unbelievable. Yeah. And it's definitely helped my clients and myself look, feel and perform better and be fitter, etc.
I think what I've taken from you is how to incorporate movement in everyday life, even from like walking more, driving less, which I struggle to, especially when I'm in London. And I think the main thing is being delusional on what is healthy and what isn't in terms of calories. I remember when I first showed you my healthy breakfast, which was... Well, it's actually not that bad, but avocado, smoked salmon, you can see that, and eggs.
I think there was more on the plate than that.
No, I don't. It was total,
was.
well,
there
whatever it was like and obviously smoked salmon and avocado are incredibly high in calories. So I've learned a lot about the amount of what's really in food.
Yeah, there was nothing wrong with the food quality, wasn't
there? Yeah, I've always liked to eat healthy. I just like to eat.
It was just, no, I realised Gabby's food quality was on point, but I remember the breakfast she sent, it was around about 1,200 calories or something, and we were trying to manipulate calories for the evening. It doesn't really bode too well if you're trying to lean down a 1,200 calorie breakfast. Next question.
How do you prioritise sleep with a significant other? Do you sleep better on your own? What can you do about that? Oh my goodness.
Okay, go on.
Sleep for Kirk is his number one priority, or has been. He was, when we first started living together, and especially I think when we were in Dubai, sleep was a real problem for Kirk. He puts a lot of time frames and pressure on himself to get up to do certain things, and he wasn't sleeping enough. So that changed. I now go to sleep with someone with an eye mask, sticky tape on his mouth. I think personally that's an excuse so he doesn't talk to me as soon as we hit the bed. We have very different sleeping habits. So I too think it's vital, sleep for recovery, for your mental health. But I like to have a little chat by the at the end of the day in bed. There's a different sort of chat in bed as there is on the sofa, in my opinion. And Kirk literally, as he walks in, turns the light off, and I'm like, wait, I'm not prepared yet. So Kirk and I have very different sleeping habits, but I personally sleep better when we're together. I know he doesn't. One of us sometimes will go into the other room if we're feeling that we're not going to get a good night's sleep. But yeah, we do. I enjoy sleeping with you.
Obviously I do too, but just to echo what Gabby said, yeah, I do definitely sleep better, I think, when
I'm not around. Well, lucky I'm not always around, isn't it?
No, yeah, I think it does depend as well. Look, me and Gabs, whenever we sleep pretty well, especially when we're in a massive, huge hotel. But it's so yeah, that can influence things. But next one.
Funny. Okay, best drunken story that involves the two of you. Spill the beans.
I mean, it depends on best, whether it's funny or...
Well, first of all, I don't drink half as much as Kirk does on a night out.
Probably because I don't do it that much, so...
But when you do, you do.
Yeah, if I turn the screw, I have said on previous podcasts, I wouldn't really say funny stories. I mean, maybe it's funny from my side. I mean, but there's been a few things where Gabby's been pretty angry. We had a little bit of a mishap the other Boxing Day, wasn't it?
I can't remember.
The Boxing Day when you weren't too happy and you... You left.
Oh, what, when we were in Coventry?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I drove back to London.
Yeah. I was in the bad books. Let's just say we were in the bad books.
Yeah. Blakey?
Yeah, I didn't want to leave my friend's house.
Well, it was
party.
7 a.m. in the morning.
House party early, and I might have extended the evening to 6 a.m. Gabby wasn't too happy, so...
It was great picking up the phone to who I did as well. No, it wasn't a woman, by the way. Otherwise, we wouldn't be sitting here right now, trust me.
Yeah, no, I would say just as a general thing around alcohol, there's been a few occasions where because I don't do that often, if I'm out with certain friends and Gabby goes home early, I have decided to extend the night beyond Gabby's expectations, and that's when she's been an angry queen. Okay, he's a good. I'm going to ask this. If you were not doing what you guys do, what would that be? What would you be doing if you weren't doing Pilates?
Well, you know what an FBI I am and things. I always, my grandfather always said to me, you should have been a lawyer. I analyse everything. I work things out. I'm quite in tune with stuff. That was one thing. And the other, I would have been, I think, in commercial property. It's one of those things I love interior, going around, selling, meeting people and talking. So that, I think, would have been my other.
Mine would have to still be doing something around helping people. It would still, some form of psychology or something like that. I'd probably be, I'd like to train to be a psychologist or something like that. That would, I don't get bored of.
Well, you can still do that.
Yeah, I know I can. Yeah, I mean, and technically speaking, coaching is that. Look, you're understanding someone, and then helping them, influencing them to become better. But it would be definitely something to do with that, and it's probably something that I will go even deeper in the future. So, yeah, I don't get bored doing that. Next question: have you ever had sex in the studio?
No.
No.
I've always worried. There's cameras in all of our studios, so no, definitely not.
Professional.
Yeah, very professional.
Has a client ever made a move on you? Have they?
Yes.
Okay.
And you'd like to think that I made a move on you as a client, but I'm sure. Go on, you spill the beans. Has anyone made a move on you?
Obviously, you did. But obviously you did.
Of course.
There has been a few clients over the years. Okay, there's been a few clients over the years, of course, that have tried to push boundaries, but no, that's that really.
Okay. Kirk, what's your least favourite thing about Pilates? Gabby, what's your least favourite thing about gym workouts and weights?
I've said this before about Pilates. No, listen, I absolutely love the benefits of Pilates. I think it's a discipline that every single person should be doing, period. Whether you're an athlete, whether you're a business owner, whether you are older, younger, it's going to benefit your life in every single way. But every single minute, I'm thinking, how long have I got? Because it's that hard. So it's just how hard it is. Yeah. It really is. It's so deceptive. So if anyone's never done Pilates and thinks it's easy, go and do a classical Pilates session and you'll backtrack on that statement. Yeah, I find everything about it hard, and I'm strong, I'm fit, but this humbles anybody.
And what's my least favourite? I actually love working out. I think, especially as I've got older and work pressure's got further, harder and more intense, I do not like getting DOMS or feeling tired from a gym workout if I've pushed myself, or I can't move as freely as I would when I'm continually doing Pilates regularly. As I've mentioned previously on posts, and is that the combination, and that's actually why I got into Pilates in the first place, was because I used to train a lot, being hypermobile and also a very busy brain. Pilates is really an incredible discipline to refocus you, understand your body, calm down and get you moving, much more freely. And I certainly prefer that now than I don't like when I watch you come in going, or you've done a heavy workout, or I can't sit down or stand up properly. I don't like that. I get frustrated with that sort of feeling. So that's the least favorite bit of a gym workout for me.
Mm-hmm. Next one.
How do you both balance a business, health, and happy relationship? Through hard work. It's not easy at all. We are constantly challenged. But as we mentioned earlier, we communicate regularly. We don't hide anything from one another. Both Kirk and I are known to say what we're thinking, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. So we're always communicating. And also discussing our values, because I never forget Mark Coles, who, I respect highly, a good friend of Kirk's and mine. And he said values change every couple of months. And it's so true. And we just have those regular conversations of what we want to achieve, what we want from one another, what we're not maybe getting, and where we're struggling. And so I think communication, and then when you communicate, and you spend time's another thing, it sort of all plays into one, right?
Yeah. I actually think we've got better with this the longer we've been together, because from my experience, when you first get with someone, you have a certain way of living, you've only got yourself to think about, you know what you want, you know what you don't want. And then at some point, as me and Gabby have had, you are going to get friction when you want to do something she doesn't want to do, or vice versa, or we're not giving each other the time in a certain area or whatever. But I think where me and Gabs are at now is we know our sort of non-negotiables each week that are going to keep Gabby happy and me happy. There are certain things, like obviously what bedrock for me is my training. That's like a mental medicine for me. For Gabby, it might be other things, but we're just more aligned on what wouldn't make each other happy if we told that person you can't do X, or we didn't find time for the thing that the other person values most. So, yeah, look, it is communication, 100%. Of course, you're going to get friction unless you lived exactly how you wanted each person to live. But I think that's what makes a relationship interesting. And but I think it's just knowing what are the non-negotiables and what are the things you just wouldn't tolerate. And that's why me and Gabby have been really honest with each other.
Yeah.
And,
I also think that you're right. Like, we've got better at this throughout our relationship, but it's also not expecting or wanting everything from your partner, knowing who your friends are, your work colleagues, that you can get certain things. I know Kirk's not going to join me for a glass of wine at the end of the day, but a girlfriend is. I know that me going to play paddle with a friend, Kirk doesn't really enjoy because he's not very good at it. He's not going to easily book that, so I'll book it with a girlfriend. Or conversations that, if he's busy or he hasn't got the time that I can speak to him, then if I have something to do with work or something is upsetting me, then that's what friends are for. Or for me, my relationship with my parents. So I think not putting everything on each other or expecting everything from one another.
Yeah, I agree.
Is helpful.
Mm-hmm. Can you share a challenge you faced together and how it strengthened your relationship?
I think I'm in a very different position since I've got the ring on my finger, I have to say. It's commitment. We've been together for a very long time. I was just like, is he really committed? So that's really helped. But what I feel has been the hardest and most challenging thing is the last 18 months navigating through living in Dubai and London, and also going through our fertility journey. I think has been one of the most challenging times in my life. And And also, you know, it's been challenging, hasn't it, from you?
Yeah. No, I think one of the most challenging times, of course, was learning how to navigate our life. And I know this has cropped up on a lot of questions. Manage business life, personal stuff, also wants and needs at a certain time. That all seemed to sort of come around about 18 months ago, wasn't it? You know, 2 years when sort of I relocated to Dubai. I think we had challenges. We didn't, you know, we both, there was a period where I felt we wanted different things at different times. But how that strengthened us, I think we realised, one, how much we love each other, two, how much we wanted to make it work, and that, you just don't give up. We just didn't give up. And I genuinely think now that, we're happier. We probably laugh more now than we did a few years ago. So it's just, my biggest advice is just don't give up. If you know you really love that person, you'll find a way to push through. Yeah. What advice would you give to couples who are both business owners?
Make that time. It's very, very easy to just, you know, if you, certainly when you love what you do, which Kirk and I both do, it's very easy just to want to work, continue to work, but really be disciplined the way that you are with your work, your relationship too, and give your time, and quality time. Be present. Don't be flitting for a phone call or wanting to do something on, you know, our work is a lot on socials as well. It's just to be present and also schedule those holidays in, and make sure that, you know, you're both aiming for something and communicating that.
Yeah, mine's pretty simple. Just support each other, because no one's going to support you more when things are tough and challenging. So, just support each other, respect each other's needs and boundaries at certain times, and don't drain that person's energy, especially if they're a height of a certain event, or they're at a pivotal time in their business. So,
would you ever run a business together? We get asked this a lot, actually.
Yeah.
At the moment, we're both doing our own thing, but you never know what's on the horizon. Both our clients really respect each other's disciplines and what we're doing in business. And I think there's definitely something that we can do together. Maybe not right now, but something in the future, right?
Yeah, I agree. I can see me and Gabby doing some big events together. I mean, we sort of
have started.
Yeah, sort of anyway, but never say never. I would, a few years ago, I would have definitely said no, because we both quite bossy and like being in control. So,
who wakes up earlier?
Okay.
Quick question.
Me.
Yeah. And we have a rule that whoever gets out of bed first has to make the bed.
Last.
Huh?
Whoever gets out of bed last makes the bed.
Yeah, which tends to always be me, but I'm not getting up at 5:30 in the morning every morning.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, where do you see yourself together in 10 years?
In 10 years' time, I'll be 50. Hopefully with a beautiful family, obviously married. And just both such a phenomenal success in business with amazing teams and communities and impact, and a life of genuine freedom.
Yeah.
That's it.
We missed this one, which is a good one. How do you support each other's entrepreneurial journeys? Do you have any influence over the other, or are you both completely independent? I'd like to say that I honestly can say I do not think, if it wasn't for Kirk moving to Dubai and what I had to implement within the business, and also my drive and what I've done, we have both been there for each other. We both inspire one another. We both motivate one another, and we've had instrumental, effect on one another's businesses, wouldn't you say?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That one there.
What accomplishment has made you most proud of your partner? Question for both of you.
I don't think there's really one with Gabby. I mean, look, Gabby gets so much PR and press, and she trains superstars in her business. For me, I think, a lot of people relate to this. When you have personal challenges in a relationship, and obviously me and Gabby are on a certain journey, with family and things like that. I think it's more just Gab's her ability to still maintain a world-class business during that period, grow a team, deal with fighting fires in business. I think it's more of a perseverance thing that I think not many people could withstand that. So, and it's not like, as she's done that, it's not just ticking over business. She's dramatically grew her business and is a genuine market leader in her field. So to do that around the ups and downs of life, the curveballs with COVID when she had studio shut down is, perseverance.
And you want to go to the next one? Can I answer that?
Yeah, answer it.
Yeah. I've watched Kirk grow from the PT coming from Coventry to London with such ambition and drive. And I've been fortunate enough to be privy to every part of his journey. The good, the bad, the ugly. And I am just incredibly proud of where he is today, what he's doing, where he's going, the people that we are, that we're friends with over the years that, both Kirk and I have brought to our relationship and to our business. I'm just a very proud partner.
Thank you. Right, this is Matt. This is a weird question.
No, I think it's a good one.
It's a really weird question. Matt Webb. Right, I'm going to name and shame you for this one. If you were an emoji, which one would you be?
I think both of us will be the one with the brain, like stress balls coming out. I'm permanently that one with the exhausted all the time. You know the one?
I've got different favourite emojis. I like the surprise face one. I just like stupid stuff.
We like the avatar ones of ourselves.
Yeah, I like the avatar ones. Yeah. The avatar ones. I like the avatar where you sort of praying, and the one that goes arms across. Yeah. It's like a signal of intent. So hopefully that's answered that, Matt. The next question is, the relationship expert Esther Perel says that in a couple, we outsource the things we don't want to or aren't good at to the other person. What do you outsource to each other?
Well, I actually answered that earlier, really,
what?
with I don't expect stuff from, certain things from you.
Okay, I've got an answer.
What's your answer?
I outsource anything to do with domesticated work. I'm not built for it.
Absolutely not built for it.
I have no desire to do it. So whether Gabby realises it or not.
So my flat in London's basically it's in pitch black right now.
Gabby says to me most days, why is there cutlery plates in the sink? Yeah,
and the dishwasher is just right there,
and the dishwasher's just next.
But that's just one of the things. I'm sure loads of couples go through all of that.
Yeah.
Just the mess and everything else. But literally, Kirk thinks that by not driving, it's wasting time. So he'd rather get an Uber everywhere than drive. I find it very, very infuriating. I drive everywhere and I'd like to be driven sometimes.
It's not efficient. So.
It's not efficient.
No, it's not efficient. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he outsources a lot. Very good with delegating.
Any business owner, entrepreneur knows that. It's smart, it's efficient, and it gets you ahead. Right. Random question. Which actors would you want to play you in a movie? Yours would obviously be someone a bit cuckoo, just a bit.
What?
A bit cuckoo, just a bit.
Cuckoo?
Who's like a dramatic actress who just goes a bit up and down?
I'd like to be.
It's just.
Cuckoo?
Who would it be?
Well, I was thinking of who I'd like aesthetics-wise.
No, who would you want to? Or who would you just want to play you in a movie? Who would represent you most in a movie? Mine would be like Matthew McConaughey or.
No, you don't say that. You're such because I've got a crush on Matthew McConaughey. Absolutely.
Mine would be a cross between McConaughey, Jean-Claude Van Damme back in the day, and just those two. One's got.
I actually can't think. Who is as nuts? And can you think of it? Be careful.
Just anyone slightly temperamental, maybe.
Right, moving on.
Okay.
If food didn't affect weight, at all, what would you eat on a daily basis?
It's a great question.
Go on, you go. I mean, yours be ice cream, crisps, and
Yeah. I would say, parking calories aside and health ill effects. I would say ill effects. Well, there's so much. I love crisps. Like, just as a snack, I love prawn cocktail crisps. I would not get bored eating them. I love anything with like chips, like chip shop. Like, even though it's horrendous for you, a chip sandwich, like, with white bread, loads of butter.
We had that when we went to Manchester.
I love Indian food. I love Chinese food. Anything like that. Oh, there's too much. I'd eat ice cream every day. A pot a day, no problem. Indian food, it's tough. Indian food, if someone said, like, wipe the calories, if you get a strong, powerful Indian, it's hard to top. But as a snack, crisps. I just sit there really happy and just eat them all day.
I know. All day.
What about you?
I think it's got to be sweets, hasn't it? I really like penny sweets and milk bottles and...
Do you like anything sweet, babe?
Not anything, but I do. I like chewy stuff, chewy sweets.
Okay. Can you reflect on a mistake, challenge, or biggest failure that taught you something valuable about yourself?
There's not one thing that I'm going to be specific about, but all the challenges I've had have led me always to one of my least... it's a skill set I don't possess, which is patience. So I think that... Can I just read that question again? Challenge of it that's taught you something valuable about yourself. I go through phases of not always trusting my gut, but I think that when you feel something and something doesn't feel right, you must trust it. So I think that's one of the biggest things, for sure, for me, that I've learnt, and patience.
Yeah. No, my failure when I got released by Coventry City, that I didn't see at the time, but that taught me that how to deal with rejection, not getting the outcome you want, and to look at it as an opportunity to pivot you in a different direction, to get better, learn more, become more, and grow as a person.
What are your 3 things you prioritise to make long distance work? So just to repeat, what are the 3 things you prioritise to make long distance work? Well, we have a new app that I love called Boatim, which means, because in Dubai it's hard, you can't get FaceTime or WhatsApp calls. So for the first bit of Kirk moving here, we just spoke, but we didn't really see one another unless we set a Zoom up, which was rare. But then Boatim came and we speak to each other every single day. So seeing him, I feel, is a huge, has been a huge help. Making sure that when we are together, we make that time. And do you want to?
Yeah, no, just planning, just forward planning the year, planning when's Gabby's calendar. For example, we both run events and courses, and we.
I think that's our most challenging. We live off our diet because of our schedules.
Yeah, but I'm sure it's very relatable whether you're in the same country or not. If you're in a business where both you run events and you've got different things going on, we just navigate our schedule or time together around the time where we know we wouldn't be seeing each other too much anyway. So, and we've got a lot better than that. So
for sure, and we regroup regularly just to make sure that we're both happy of what the other person's doing. What's it like living in Dubai? Do you want to answer that?
I love it. But the beauty of mine and Gabby's lifestyle now is we're not in Dubai for 12 months of the year. I think Dubai's amazing, but you don't need to be here for 12 months of the year. The biggest thing I like about it is it's safe, the speed, the efficiency, the service, and whatever they do, they try and do to the highest standard, whether it's the gyms, the food, customer service in most things is night and day from anywhere else, I feel. But it's the safety as well.
Safety, for sure.
The safety is the biggest win living in Dubai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it inevitable we see Exhale expand globally? there's big things coming. Can't say too much. The second part of this year. We've already taken our education programs globally, and that's something I personally will be concentrating on as well. But yeah, there's some exciting things happening for Exhale. When did you realise, I like this one, when did you realise Gabby was the right lady for you?
From when I first met her.
Right answer. Well done.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's move on.
No, say the truth.
I don't know. It was a gradual thing.
When did you look at me and go,
it was a gradual thing. When did I first
wife?
okay, not many people know this. When I first told Gabby I loved her,
We're in
was
Croatia.
in Croatia. We'd had a few drinks, but that wasn't the reason. And no, it just felt right. And yeah, you won me over.
Aren't I lucky?
Go on.
When you both go out for food and Kirk orders a Kirky special, what do you think? Here we go again. The lights go on the camera and it's got to be videoed. And also, I don't know about you guys, but I feel sorry for when he tags whatever restaurant we're in, because he does not make it look very edible or aesthetic. It literally is just piles and mounds of food. And that's what I think. I think, can't you just be a bit more creative with how you're, as he does the zoom in and out? That's what I think about his Kirky specials.
The answer should have been proud. Anyway, we will move on.
Is it true that Gabby benches more than Kirk?
I'm going to call him out. Just Jeremy Jauncey. That's absolutely a scandalous question. Scandalous question.
That's because he benches more than you, doesn't he?
Yeah, yes, he does, and that does hurt. That does hurt. He's going to be watching this back, and it does hurt. So I hope you're happy. Make yourself proud that you've asked that question.
Okay.
What about this? If you could have, this is a great question. If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
You start.
I'd love to sing. I'd love to be able to sing. I really would.
I'd love it if you could dance as well. Dance over singing for me.
No. Sing, just like...
Why?
Just be there on the stage, just... Wembley, literally just stepping up. This is the moment. This is what it's all about. So you could be in the crowd, waving me on. That's my guy.
What would be my superpower?
Yours definitely ain't singing.
I can't think. What superpower would I like?
Look, we can't move on. Ben asked some good questions.
Oh my God.
These are
wow.
These are
okay.
deep questions. Right?
Do you share joint bank accounts, or will you? Currently, no, but we have spoken about it, and we will, though.
Yeah, I think it's inevitable when you have a family. Have you talked about a prenup? Yes.
Yeah.
We have, yeah.
Do you ever train fitness, weights together? Not together. We might go to the gym together, but actually, no, we have done it a couple of very, very few times. Very few times in this. I would say less than 10 actually in the 6 years that we've been going
I don't mind
together.
training Gabby every now and then, but I don't like training with you.
No, yeah.
It just doesn't work.
No, I like to dance too when
No,
tune
it's
comes
just
along.
absolutely. It's just the intensity is just not the same. It's just, which is fine, you know.
Will you do a high rocks together? I am really competitive, and I would love to. At the moment, I'm not allowed to do such intense training, just because of like what we're going through personally, fertility wise. But I would love to. Even with Kirk's events, like I feel like I've got a real competitive streak in me. So never say never.
I'd love to. Do you ever pull each other up on what you eat or how you train?
Yeah, both of us do actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do, yeah. But I'll only do it, I mean, because I know there'll be probably people thinking that I'll tell you what to eat, which I'll give up on that years ago, right? Well, if she didn't listen to me when she paid me as a client, she's not going to listen to me now, is she? Let's be honest. But no, the only time, this isn't just with Gabs, but just in general, that I would air my views about what someone is eating is if they have an expectation of how they want to look, or if I know deep down it's affecting Gabby's energy or how she feels, then I might make a suggestion about what someone's eating if they're not happy with how they're feeling and energy, etc. So this question could probably be a separate podcast episode on its own, certainly from Gabby's side. What is Kirk's most annoying habit, and what is Gabby's most annoying habit?
Do you want to start?
Here, you start.
Okay. I would say...
Breathing.
Yeah. There is one specific thing that really gets on my nerve. Actually, two. Really, really top it. Is one, his timekeeping. Absolutely unaware of time. I actually have to lie sometimes of times that we have to go and meet someone or the family, and usually we'll say it's like half an hour earlier than it is. We're always still late. So timekeeping for Kirk is a disaster zone, especially because I like to be quite punctual. Actually, one area that I am really organised and disciplined in. I hate
because it involves social.
No, it doesn't.
Because it involves social.
No, it doesn't. Even with work, if you were to speak to Nicola or anyone, work is just poor timekeeping. I don't really like that. And also your eating habits, Kirk. Like, I cannot bear hearing cutlery hit the plate or slurping when you're either drinking a cup of coffee or soup. I mean, honestly, you know, you get those reels and they say about how the wife or the partner just like looks at their partner with seething eyes and literally like, that is just me. I just want to just say, shut up. Yeah, those are my two. I mean, there are lots more, but those are my two, I think, if I could change those two.
Yours is pretty simple. You're messy. You're messy. You actually have the cheek to say I'm messy, but you leave things everywhere. Like everywhere.
I just want you to remember.
No, it's just you just leave things everywhere. It's outrageous, and then you make excuses. So anyway, right, the next one. How do you balance living apart and both running successful businesses? Well, even though on paper we do, we're together 90% of the time.
Not that much. It is challenging. I think that's due to the nature of how busy we both are. It's actually quite good that we're not always with each other in the height or the intense times of work, and we can give each other that space. Again, going back, it's communication, making sure we always try to say that we didn't want to be away from each other for at least 3 weeks maximum. Sometimes that is going over, like the summer, we're going to have this a much longer period. And that's really like, that is the challenge. But we make it work. And if anything, probably why it's working that much, so well now is because we have that space for one another and appreciate each other when we do see one another.
Yeah, it's just planning.
Yep.
Planning. Trying Gabby's busy periods, my busy periods. Because even if we're on the same turf, if she's doing courses, I've got an event, it's hard to get that person's full attention. So, who wears the trousers?
I think I covered this on our last podcast, but I'm quite an independent, driven individual, and also quite fiery. And I soon realised that you couldn't have two fires or lions, as we said, in a relationship. It just doesn't work. Someone has to sort of be lesser dominant, and I've certainly taken the back seat on that. So I'd like to say that you wear the trousers in the relationship, but I certainly indirectly wear the trousers on a lot of things. And I think I love the fact of a lot of the clients that we go out with, and they all say the same thing: happy wife, happy life, and don't keep challenging me all the time.
I don't.
Well, you do.
I don't.
The sooner you are, and you are learning this
So mastering the art of listening.
Yeah.
Or just...
What, ignoring?
Yeah, ignoring. Yeah. Exactly.
But he has evolved actually on that. But
no, I would say socially, Gabby, she wears the trousers. Okay, I won't sugarcoat it. Basically, anything I'm not really as interested in.
Well, then pretty much anything other than training and work. You actually went right into that one.
Basically, so anything I'm not interested in, Gabby can wear the trousers.
Anything to do with life. Outside of work and training, I have to basically.
I'll give her the keys to the kingdom on anything I'm not interested in. But I'm hard to budge if I want to do something. Anyway, next one. I know we sort of covered this maybe, but how do you balance strength training and Pilates? Is one better than the other? No, I think we've both agreed that they are so complementary.
I cannot express. It was something that I got into years and years ago, was when I was doing a lot of gym, strength work, spinning, to complement that. And especially if you're hypermobile, loosen your joints or just need a bit more centering. Pilates is an incredible discipline, but the two work incredibly well.
Yeah, I agree. I think anyone, especially if you're in your 40s, 50s and 60s, should, in my opinion, be doing strength training and Pilates.
Yeah.
Next one. With both of you being so committed and passionate about your businesses, how hard is it to make room when the other's business needs take a priority of sorts, like Gabby opening up a new studio or Kirk having to go more intense than usual for an event like Dubai?
Look, we're both, we're both human. One more emotional and sensitive than the other. But I find it probably harder when we're apart or we don't get that special time to one another. And Christmas in, say, January, because my studio was delayed and then having to come back, I don't like us not being with each other if it goes for long periods of time. But we communicate and we basically just, sit down with our diaries quite regularly and just make sure that we're both there for one another. And especially in those times of needs, like Kirk's done enough of these events now that I know actually to stay clear, be there if he needs me, choose my moments when I want to discuss something that I know might not, always make him the happiest of individuals, which is quite regularly. But yeah, just I think over the years now we know what what works and what tools we need to support one another.
Yeah, I would say with an event, get Gabby be the one person, even though the time might be compromised with Gabby in and around an event. Gabby helps release tension or helps me with certain decision making.
Wow.
Yeah, probably haven't actually said that, but no, you do. Because, I mean, look, one of the reasons me and Gabs are together, look, we've both got businesses and we've got lots of people to think about and lead and all that type of stuff. But for me, having someone to be stupid with and joke about is really important, because it's you need someone to take the heat out of the seriousness. And around an event, no, I think even though it's less time, it certainly helps. So yeah, it can be a benefit. Next one. When you met, I'm sure you both had very well-established friend groups and professional circles. Was it possible to mend these together? And if so, how hard?
I think, like anybody, over the years, friendships evolve. New friendships also come to light as you change and your values change and your circumstances change. So sometimes your friendship groups change. Kirk and I both have incredible friends that we're still friends and more like family to us than friendships that we grew up with, that we would love to see much more than we do. They're understanding everyone's got busy lives, but we make sure that we make time for them as much as possible. I go to Coventry to see his family and his friends. When Kirk's in London, we try to get everyone together. But it is a challenge, isn't it? Because, there's only, as you always say, how many X amounts of weekends in a year, and we're not always around for that. But I think we've complemented one another. When all our groups get together, like your 40th last year, that was incredible. I think because Kirk and I are both sort of quite sociable characters. I actually say that, but when
you're backtracking on your statement.
Yeah. Well, you can be sociable majority when your boys are around, but yes, that we complement, and actually they're all quite they're characters, aren't they?
Yeah, but
our friendship groups.
We haven't really got boring friends. I mean, look, I know that's perception led of what.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's completely like
no. But I'm just saying they.
But also clients. Look at our clients.
Yeah, but we generally like similar traits in people. So I don't. There's never been any awkwardness between your friends or my friends.
Yeah.
It's just logistically. I'm sure everyone listening to this will relate that. As I've said to Gabby, there's a very logical person. There's 52 weekends in a year, and you got to make time for your partner. If you've got kids, friends, certain occasions, you've got events some weekends.
Can't do it all.
Yeah, there's just not that many occasions. So we just make sure that when there are the bigger occasions, like for my 40th last year and things like that, that we try and get bigger group together. But
I think
people are busy.
A lot of people are excited for the wedding. So it's just going to be
some
one
interesting characters on that for sure.
One big party.
Yeah. When is Gabby going to be joining you on your nasal breathing and mouth taping night time adventures? Adventures, like my nasal breathing is adventure. It actually is.
Yeah, and your pillows as well. I mean,
yeah, I've got a weird nighttime routine.
Horrendous.
I like to wedge myself in with.
But these big pillows, and the bed in Dubai is not that big, so I literally get like pillows across me in the middle of the night, whacked with his long arms. Anyway, the question was, would I be joining him? I really appreciate the benefits actually of I was about to say nasal, but mouth taping, but currently I won't be joining him at this precise moment, because actually the thought of it gives me a bit of anxiety, to be honest with you.
She's just a bit concerned she won't be able to talk.
Well, no, I don't talk in the middle of the night, do I? Actually, I probably do, but
she said the other day when I said, why don't you just let me just put the tape over your mouth, she went, you're trying to shut me up. So maybe that's one way of doing that. Right?
Nice.
Next one. I don't know who's written this. When's the stag do? That's actually David. David wrote that.
Wrote that.
Yeah, we don't actually know when that's going to be on the horizon. There are a few destinations that have been.
It's the only thing he's organised.
No. It isn't. I mean,
well, it's not going to be for a while, is it?
No, it's not going to be for a while, and look, I'm sure I'll turn back the screw, and that'll be a jam packed full of big characters, but I like to think it'd be a little bit more moderate than if that was a few years ago.
Do you know what's funny? Do you know how many of your boys actually were like, I'd rather be on the hen?
That's bullshit.
Well, no,
who would say
because
that?
they know.
Who would say that? Honestly, name and shame.
I guarantee.
Name and shame. Who would rather be on your hen do than my stag do?
Listen.
Tell me.
Okay,
name and shame.
They know.
None.
I go to the fun places. We do fun things.
It was a bit boring.
No, it won't.
It'd be boring. Anyway, the next one's probably an easy answer for you. Well, us really. And I know who's written this. This was Chris Rye's written this. What is your favourite dog?
Jasper.
Of course, Jasper. But you know why Chris has written it?
Jasper's my family and my dog, and that Kirk absolutely loves as well. Yeah. He's not really a dog lover. He's going to have to be.
No, Jasper's an amazing dog. But the reason Chris has done that is
why?
When I went round his apartment the other week,
okay.
he's got the biggest pit bull you've ever seen called Pekin. So Chris, if you're listening to this, my second favourite dog is Pekin, and he didn't know I have a little bit of a fear with certain dogs. Anyway, this dog, I just strolled in the apartment, stroked the dog, and it was a big beast. And then I sat down and I said, "Oh, what dog is that?" And he went, "It's a pit bull."
Yeah, but that's terrible.
It's a
you
pit
should
bull.
have taken it by how
it's banned.
The nature. I know, but the nature. Yeah, but take it as his nature, okay. as people.
I was terrified after that.
Yeah.
Anyway. It's a little bit deep. If you could change one thing in your life immediately, what would it be and why?
I think I'm going to answer for both of us here. I think both of us really want to be parents. That's the main thing that both of us really, really want in our lives right now.
Yeah. What is the most endearing thing about the other person? It depends if... Gabby probably answer that. Depends on what day you catch it. Like
Catch it or me?
Me and you. Depends how you're looking at me that day. Endearing. Obviously, if I've annoyed you, which tends to be quite frequently, then probably not a lot.
I mean, to his clients, can you imagine going out with this man and being with him every day? But there are a lot of endearing qualities about you. You're very sensitive. You can be incredibly thoughtful. I love how generous you are towards people, and especially, who are struggling. You know, the sensitivity and kindness that you give is incredible to watch.
Thank you. Endearing. Everything with Gabby is just amazing. You know?
Good. Right.
No, Gab's endearing. Wears a heart on her sleeve, and you run through fire if you love someone. That's it. How do you both deal with the stresses of business? God, this will probably relate to a lot of people.
I think we've got, between the two of us, we've got our toolkits. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, like anything. Depends on the situation. I can speak for me. I find it difficult being here when there's something going on that needs my immediate attention in London, obviously. But I do have an incredible team that we work through it. But just because I know I have elements of being a control freak and a perfectionist and things like that. And so that can be really challenging to do.
It depends. I mean, I can blow up very quickly if someone pisses me off. I have a short fuse. But equally I can bring that down back pretty rapidly. I don't dwell too much. I always focus on what I can do, not what I can't do, and try and take responsibility as much as I can. And it might sound like a broken record saying this, but for me, if I'm stressed, there's a lot going on in business, that's where for me exercise is absolutely paramount to keeping my mood in a good spot and making strong, firm decisions. Like for me, training is genuinely a mental medicine for me, especially when you run a business and you've got lots on. I mean, I made some big decisions this last few months, last year in business, and going through a growth phase and lots going on, lots more people in the team, etc. And with that comes challenge and stress, especially when you've got other things going on in personal life, and I'm training for high roxys and things like that. But long story short, my calendar is pretty packed. But for me, the number one thing that helps me deal with stress is exercise, without question. And as Gabby's mentioned, my value on sleep is gone through the roof compared to how it was a few years ago. Sleep is absolutely fundamental to me handling business pressures more effectively.
I think I just want to add to that. Is I completely agree. Exercise, one thing that I've struggled not being able to exercise as regularly because of what I've been going through the last 18 months. And since exercising again, when something is stressful, you're able to either disengage quicker or come back to your center quicker. But I think those times to step out, step away, decompress, not always act initially, because that's an emotional reaction. I think the tools I've learned is to remove the emotion out of something. Don't take things personally. Business is business at the end of the day. But to really also, as well as exercise, is just to remove yourself before you make a decision, decompress, and come from a more strategic point of view rather than just the emotional.
Next one, apart from going to the gym or doing Pilates, what is your favourite thing you both enjoy doing? I've got it pretty simple, but...
Go on.
Eating, restaurant, chilling, relaxing.
Yeah.
Just...
I love walking, especially, obviously in London through the parks with my little dog Jazzy, or just friends, family, going for chats and walking at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But what else? I mean, we like holidays.
Yeah. Look, the obvious, of course. We love holidays and weekend breaks, all that type of stuff. I actually love I'm on about a week-to-week basis. I just love watching some garbage on TV together.
No, you don't really garbage, is it?
What do you mean?
It's either YouTube, right, where we literally have to watch the same, like, I was going to say episode, like if there's been a boxing match or a football match. Lucky you have a partner that enjoys football and boxing as well. But I mean, it is ongoing. And if you see Kurt's Netflix, like his favorites or, suggested, it's all like narcos, drug deals, gangsters, this, that, and the other. And it was funny the other day. I was like, I'm not in a great mood. Can we just watch something that's really stupid? And he actually said, okay. And we watched something. I can't even remember.
It was the worst movie I've ever watched.
It was, but we laughed together.
The
but
worst.
You know what? Did we not laugh together? And you were watching me, my reactions, I was watching you. And that's sometimes what it's about, is just switching off and having a laugh rather than it being so intense all the time.
I just never want to watch
But we
that
do
type
love
of
getting
movie
in.
again.
I know.
Ever.
But we do like, when we do get into it, we love watching like a good series, right?
Yeah. No, we like, yes.
Yeah,
I like true stories. I like watching things that, where it's you're seeing a story about someone. I like true stories. I do like the intense stuff, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Probably isn't good when you're trying to wind down.
I always go, Kirk, this is not good before we go to bed. Like, I'm already like, oh. But yeah.
No, I like that. This one I think is more for me. What's the 3 most vital things you've learned about human behaviour, mentally and physically, that separates clients being successful and those failing to achieve their goals? It comes down to one word, and that's identity. If someone doesn't achieve a goal or meet their initial expectations, it's usually because they haven't shifted their identity. They haven't upgraded their beliefs, their standards, their habits, their behaviour. But it comes down to identity. In order for someone to achieve their goal, maintain their goal, it has to be what they do, how they see themselves, and how they actually live. And unfortunately, some people they get so far, but because they haven't conditioned themselves as that new person and using the words I am, they cannot describe themselves as that person. So for example, in order for someone to be successful, and especially from a body composition perspective, they need to be genuinely describing themselves with the words I am, as I am a gym goer, I am a healthy eater, I am successful, because your beliefs, your habits, your behavior is going to be aligned to that identity. And of course we all have sticking points, of course we all fall backwards from time to time, as do even some of our top clients. But if they've shifted that identity, then it's easier to get back on track with the habits and the behavior that's aligned to that outcome. So for me, it's not really about 3 vital things. It's more about shifting that identity. And maybe just to support that, is what helps someone shift identity is genuinely having a huge reason, a deeper meaning behind following through on meeting that identity they're striving for. Because you will never change if you don't have a big why behind whatever success looks like for you. So it's identity for sure. Last 2 questions. What makes you both tick? Go on. What makes you both tick?
Okay, for me, it's people. I like being around, certain people. I get energy from being around people. I'm a very sensory person. I love to listen. I love to speak. I love to hear stories. I like to educate myself. So being around, people that I can learn from, that I can laugh with, I can enjoy time with, that's really what makes me tick.
Mine is living with purpose and being around people who live with purpose.
Yeah. You just articulate it in a much more serious and correct way, but yeah. No,
it's because I've lived without purpose when I was stuck as a plumber, so there's zero judgment if people are struggling with that just now. But just if you are in a hole at any point where you don't feel like you are living with purpose or around people with purpose, you can always change. You don't have to stay there. So for me, having lived without purpose and now with purpose, that is the thing that energizes you, gives you vibrancy each day. And Gabby will tell you, she knows when I'm around people or in situations that I get energized, and equally she knows when I'm probably in a company or in a certain environment that doesn't necessarily inspire me. And I know sometimes you've got to do certain things, but yeah, I dramatically have a different energy when I'm around people with purpose, for sure. Last question. What is the end goal?
To chill you out, that's for sure.
It's never gonna happen. Never gonna happen.
Family, freedom, being around as many people that we love, support us, and for me, always having a home that's an open home is always my end goal. That might sound silly to others, but for me, family is everything. And no, actually I didn't answer about work really, but continuing to push exhale, lots happening towards the end of the year, driving, supporting other people's ambitions to succeed even further. I think that's one thing that Kirk and I really love, is supporting people in minimizing their limiting beliefs and supporting them along the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I echo some what Gabby said. Just to not look back and think, what if? Just maximize my potential, my physical health, in business, the impact, not just for myself, but even with team. I just love having to perform at my best, so other people perform at their best. And I obviously hope one day that I've got a little mini me, or maybe maybe a mini Gabby. I mean, I do want a boy, I'm not going to lie, right? Gabby wants another version of me, don't you? Another me. But no, I just want to be the best possible influence I can be, and in order for that to happen, I have to keep a certain standard. And as Gabby said, I just want to be happy, live with freedom, not just financial freedom, but emotional freedom. I think the greatest power in life is to live with emotional freedom, where you're in control the majority of the time with the direction in which your life is going, who you spend your time with, the places you go, how your day, how your week looks, how your routine looks. You live in life on your own terms, simply put, and to make a difference. So that's it. I mean, look, I've got goals now, personally, professionally, financially, all that type of stuff. But really, it's a constant state of improvement mentality for me, and I just want to, make a difference. That's it, and just not look back with what if. Mm-hmm. I don't think anyone truly in their heart wants to look back with what if. I don't think anyone would regret on their deathbed saying to themselves, honestly, I became the best version of myself, physically, mentally, emotionally, and I made a difference with what I did because of who I became as a person. And that's it.
Nice, light-hearted.
Yeah, and have, of course, lots of great memories with Gabby, of course, and be stupid. I like being stupid.
Yeah.
Yep.
So do I.
Yep. So even though we're serious in business, I think the reason me and Gabs are together is, I love winding Gabby up, don't I? Mm-hmm. Because Gabby's really easy to get wound up.
And I also hope this shows as well. I always say, Kirk, come on, show your personality, because, you can be so serious a lot of the time. But he really is. We laugh every single day.
Just like being stupid, yeah. There's a lot of questions. If we've missed anybody's questions, I can only apologise. There was an awful lot. There were a lot of similar questions, so we did
try and merge it.
Yeah, try and merge them. But I just want to thank my guest today, my fiance Gabby, for helping me complete this 100th episode, which is a really great milestone. And if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. It's not just my big mouth that you have to listen to. We bring on amazing guests every week. And my promise to you is that I want to raise the bar again for the next 100. Gabby, for people who don't know where to find you, where can they find Gaby Noble?
They can find me at Exhale Pilates London.
And that's that. Guys, thank you so much for listening, and we will see you next time.